Hi, Ray. You never let me down, Ray. Hi, Betty. Hi, Shauna. Hi, Chase. Good morning. Hi, Susan. How you guys doing? Hi, Rachel Simone Dandy. I like to say that name. It's almost as good as Brandon Lee Taylor. Where's Brandon Lee Taylor? Rachel Simone Dandy. So today, what's today? I have no idea. Okay, today is May 27th, 2025. We are smack in the middle of the greatest story Hashem ever told. It is a good day, Shauna. It's gorgeous outside. There you are, Brandon Lee Taylor. Can't wait to meet everybody one day. Hi, Sydney. Me and Sydney met in the forest. We had our first hug at midnight in the forest, in the parking lot. Kitov, twice. It's Tuesday. So I had planned what I wanted to say today. I just was going to reiterate my point from last week and gel it a little better because it came to me a little more clearly. But then Rabbeinu YIRAH gave a noon Zohar class yesterday that just blew that out of the water and shoved it to the side. But they're kind of connected. What I wanted to reiterate from last week was there's something in my lens. Hold on. Okay. Was my point from last week was that I'm going to show you guys. This pasuk right here. Okay, we're going to focus on this pasuk. Ki timolei haaretz lada'as es kavod Hashem kamayim mechasu al hayam. For the earth shall be filled with awe. That's an interesting translation. For God's glory. As waters cover the sea. But really, the Hebrew says, the land will be filled, lada'as, to know, es kavod Hashem, the glory of Hashem, like water covers the sea. So I realized last week that when I explained to you that Hashem wanted to be known. Hashem was out there and he wanted to be known. So what did he do? How did he devise a plan to be known? The first thing he did was emanate a body and emanate character traits. Sefirot. That's the body of Hashem. And it starts out as a potential body in a potential space. All the upper worlds are worlds of potentiality, as YIRAH taught us, until we get down to Olam HaAsiyah, our world, which is, oh no, 1 second, you guys. Olam HaAsiyah, which is the world of actuality, where potentiality turns into actuality, and we manifest the highest ratzon, the highest will of Hashem. The dreams of Hashem come to life on this plane of Asiyah. We are the ground crew animating in real life Hashem's dreams. Everything else is just held in potential above us. So I realized that we have so much potential vested in this body that we are not using. We only use 5% of our brain. We only use 2 strands of our DNA. So when Hashem activates us, all this latent potential gets turned on. We are going to be the embodied da'as of Hashem inside a body. We're going to show all the upper worlds what a fully loaded body of Hashem looks like, acts like. Omnipotent, omniscient, teleport, telepathy, flying, whatever your dreams are, self-healing, immortal. Hashem will express his highest self, whatever that means, through the human body, through us. It's the Torah of Mashiach. This is why Mashiach comes to teach us about our body and how our body is a likeness of Hashem himself. Okay, so that when it says the world will be filled with the da'as of Hashem, like water covers the sea, we will be the da'as. We will be what other creatures, all the other beings of the upper world will look to know Hashem, to know what is Hashem. They're going to look to the human being that has been fully activated, right? And then YIRAH gives a class yesterday. I have to go fix my lens, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to be back in a minute. Okay, that should be better. I couldn't talk with the smudge on my lens. Okay, so then Rabbeinu YIRAH gives a class yesterday. He gives the class. I process the class. I'm thinking about the class. I'm doing laundry. I'm in my laundry room. And I asked him, I actually texted him a question after the class and he clarified. I'll read you his answer in a little bit. And after I get his answer and after I process his answer, this idea lands on me like a bird. Like it just landed on me. It just landed in my head, this idea. I felt it. I felt it come in. I felt it come in. And it gave me a whole other answer to what is this da'as that will cover the face of the earth like water. And I'm going to play you the minute of his class that led me to have this key. He gave me the key. That's the title of this class. He gave me the key. YIRAH always says, he's not here to teach us everything. He's here to give us the key so we could have our own chidushim, so we could have our own Torah innovations, so we could have our own moments of total like ecstasy. Like honestly, yesterday I saw fireworks. I saw sparklers. I had to jump in my pool. After I had this experience, I didn't know what to do with all this energy that I had in my body. So I literally jumped in the pool and did 30 laps just to express through the body. I had to express the euphoria I felt. I had to express it physically. I was either going to dance in my kitchen for an hour or I was going to swim. I had to do something with all that energy. So here is the minute from his class.
When they ate from the tree of the Eitz Hadas Tovera, the first part is Eitz Hadas, which means that they went from the first part they were created. This is the Kalim of Chochmah and Bina. There was no Das. And then they went into the Penimios of Chochmah and Bina, but they still had not Das. And when they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, it says Eitz Hadas, meaning they interacted with Das. The Das was not rectified at all. There was no kalim and no vessel to contain das. And so they expanded das. And this is the exact secret of what the Arizal says regarding his commentaries on this matter. He says they ate from the vessel of Das and they expanded it before prematurely. When they interacted with Da'as, it immediately went Tovera, which means that it split into Chesed and Gevura. It split into two sides. When it split into two sides, that's when their eyes were opened. And their eyes were opened in conjecture with those lower seven, which means they went from this state of having Chachma and Bina, which means in this way of having wisdom and understanding, and entered into the Midas. And so now, when they entered into Das and he descended into the lower seven, that's when he ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's when his eyes were open. That's when he knew he was naked.
Okay, I'm going to try to paraphrase what Rabbeinu YIRAH just taught in that clip. How I understood that was that the sin of eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the Eitz Da'as, there's that word right there, was that they ate prematurely. And I learned this from Rabbi Gozlan also, that they had they waited another 6 hours, God would have given them permission to eat from the Eitz Hadas. And now I know what that means. That means it would have been mature. It would have been ripe. The tree would have been ripe for them to eat. But the Das had no vessel. The Das wasn't ready, but they ate from it anyway. Because they wanted, what the serpent tricked them, they wanted to be godlike. They wanted to have their own discernment, like God has his own discernment. So they jumped the gun. And what happened? Everything split. Did you hear him say the word split? So if you imagine the tree of life in your head, you have Chachma and Bina, fully vesseled, and then you have Da'as, not ready yet. So, but they ate from it anyway, and everything split into left and right, and we had good and evil. And now we had to discern everything through the filter of what is good and what is bad. Instead of everything being a unified field, we now had a split field. And those 6 hours correspond to the 6,000 years we've been trying to rectify our own da'as on our own, come to our own maturity of processing the universe as a unified field instead of split. So I asked YIRAH, what was the question I asked him? I'm going to read you his answer. I said, what does it mean practically? What is the tachlis here? Like, what does it practically mean to have a mature da'as? Like, we could say those words, but what do they mean? And he answered me. He always gives me the most concise, precise, perfect answers. Like the answer that settles my soul. Like I don't need to ask any more questions. When he gives me an answer, I'm like, done. I'm like cosmically settled, satisfied. Okay, so I said, what does it mean to have a mature das? He said, it means one should not use the forms, the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov, to discern reality. But he should use the Torah of Atzilus and the mother's Torah, Kabbalah, to produce his da'as. Meaning, we should produce da'as from the top down, not from the bottom up. We should look at everything as a unified field. There's no good and evil. It's all Hashem. Hashem is one. Hashem echad u'shemo echad. Instead of viewing everything as split. And then I remembered in the car ride on Sunday, coming home for my son's graduation, driving through the city. And when you see in Manhattan, walking on the streets, all kinds of people, really. And the kids in the car, they were being kids. And they were like, oh, look at that guy. That guy's gay. That guy's this. That guy's that. And, this one looks funny. This one looks that. And I was like sitting there. And what didn't used to bother me, as really not as much. And I might have even participated in those conversations. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I was like thinking, all I could think was they're Aleph Mem Shin. Every single creature walking this earth is Aleph Mem Shin. It's all Hashem. How are we going to speak badly on anything out there? How are we going to say one negative thing about anything out there? It hurt. It actually hurt me. I was like, guys, Hashem made those people. And that is just one example that I could think of viewing the world from Atzilus through the construct Torah. To use your da'as, to understand what da'as is, where da'as is, that's using the construct Torah, and reach for Atzilus, reach for Aleph Mem Shin, reach for every single person in Manhattan walking around peas yellow, and every female produces red and every male produces white, and you'll never speak or think in a split way again. They're never going to be separate from you. They're going to just be a reflection of you. They're just going to be you. And then I had one more thought come to me. It says, La Da'as, the Lamed, and it caught my attention last week. Why is that Lamed there? And then I realized from what Aleph, hi Aleph, what Aleph, I learned from Aleph about the letters, the Lamed is to vibrate, right? So I kind of took it to mean La Da'as, when the vibration, like energy, frequency, and vibration, when the vibration of Da'as fills the land, we will have rectified, we will have tikkuned the sin of eating from that Da'as prematurely. We will have done the work of 6,000 years of building a vessel for Da'as, for viewing the world through Atzilus. We will have done our part in bringing down that vibration, introducing it to the planet, and Hashem will do the rest. Me and Irma were talking yesterday. We're like, does everyone have to do this work in order for Mashiach to come? And we realized that Hashem just needs a foothold down here to anchor in this new frequency of the rectified da'as, where the tree is no longer split. And this has been the whole game. The Eitz HaDa'as has been the whole game for 6,000 years, to take the broken da'as and create a vessel for it. Create a vessel for viewing the world through the lens Hashem sees it. Yashar El, you have to reach all the way up to the top of the tree and let that be your perspective of the world. That we're all more the same than we are different. And it is our bodies that teach us that at the end of the day. Let me just see if there's anything I forgot. Oh, and also, Rabbi Gozlan always said that there's going to be this game over moment that we're all waiting for. And he called it the Mochen Godless Sheni. And the Mochen, we know, is the Chachma, Bina, and Da'as. It's going to be the secondary adult consciousness that comes in. And it will be anchored by this rectified Da'as, because the Da'as of Hashem will cover the earth. The rectified Da'as of Aleph Mem Shin. It'll be the anchor point for restoring us to our Mochen. And it'll cover the face of the earth. And when that covers the face of the earth, when we have a vessel for this rectified da'as of viewing every single face as Aleph Mem Shin, that, I think, this is what came in yesterday also, that is what will cause our bodies to activate to their fullest potential. All the dormant abilities will come online once we have a vessel of a mature da'as. Hashem can trust us with those kind of Superman skills, because we're going to use them through the lens of Aleph Mem Shin, the Oro Shel Mashiach, the light of Mashiach. of viewing everybody through their body that is in the likeness of the emanator. How are you going to hurt something that's in the likeness of the emanator? How are you going to hurt a planet that's in the likeness of the emanator, an animal? So Hashem will be able to trust us with all those abilities, his highest abilities that he vested inside of us, only when we have proven ourselves to have a rectified da'as. So the da'as of Hashem will be known to the planets through our bodies, but only after we've done the work of rectifying our emotional da'as. Two types of da'as. And that answers that question. I'm fully satisfied with that answer. For what does that verse mean? Okay. Let us go to the reading for today. Torah of Mashiach. Torah Shel Mashiach, page 19. Let's get that bigger. Okay, let us continue learning how our bodies are an exact reflection of the sefiros, of the emanations of Hashem, how Hashem wanted to be known through the body. We're going to go to the hair. You guys okay? Let me check on you. Guys, I'm going to Israel tomorrow. I'm so excited. And I'm taking a bunch of Torah of Mashiach to spread around the land. I can hear my homeland calling me, man. I hear it. Page 19, surrounding the head are many hairs. And it has been shown the sefiros entered into this place in the secret of the letters. Okay, the sefiros entered into this place in the secret of the letters. The letters are the source code for the sefiros, for the website called the sefiros. We thus find that upon the head are 110,000 hairs, and this is because the lights and influences of the 11 sefiros, each containing 10, which contain 10, etc. So if you do the math of this in various places of the hair, of the head were called pure will, hinting to the level of Chachma, which is the level of 10,000. They were divided as follows. 1 through 10, this is important, you guys. 1 through 10 is Asiya or Malchus. The 10 through 100, this is basic math of the sefiros. The 10 through 100, like the Dewey Decimal Point system, the 10 through 100 is Yitzira, Chesed through Yesod. The world of the thousands is Beria or Bina. The world of 10,000s is Atzilus or Chachma. It was explained the restriction, the Tzimtzum, was the Chachma of the Atik. It corresponded to the Chachma of the Atik Yomen. And thus we find that there are 11 sefiros, Keter through Malchus, each containing 10,000 because it's Atzilus. Collectively, 11 times these 10,000 are 110,000. And so there are 110,000 hairs of the linear sefiros in the restriction covering the skull, the heart spark of 22 bones, the letters, which houses the brain, the front and back of the sefiros. And these hairs are all linear because they are rooted in the secret of the straight light, the Or Yashar, which carried the letters. And this is his hair, pure like wool, regarding the Ancient of Days. Another hint to the Ancient of Days. Thus the emanator, the Matzil Baruch Hu, divided the hair into 10 parts in the secret of the linear and circular aspects of the restriction. So there's 10 different parts of your hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the hair follicle is structured and emerged in the secret of the tzimtzum, or restriction, which is its root. Wow. Now the hair follicle is structured and emerged in the secret of the tzimtzum, or restriction, which is its root, the root of your hair. This being the concentric circles, it emerges and takes this form. This is the cross section of your hair follicle. What does it look like? It looks like this. It looks like the restriction. The Adam Kadmon, the circular aspect specifically of the restriction. So you have the linear aspect of the restriction in your hair, and you have the follicle, which is the circular aspect of the tzimtzum. The emanation divided the hairs according to 3 columns, and so hair is red and brown from the left, blonde from the center, and white from the right. Abba is considered the elder, and because of this, wisdom comes with age. And hair transitions into whiteness from connection with Chachma. Correspondingly, there are 11, like the 11 spheros, there are 11 levels to its shades, all the way from ultra light blonde down to black. Now the lights of the 72, 63, 45, and 52 were explained in generalities. And it was explained how these lights entered the restriction and the secret of Yud Kei Vav Kei, as is shown here. See the Yud Kei Vav Kei entering in a straight line into the circular tzimtzum. Regarding this, the first light to connect to the heart spark, which is the secret of the brain, was the light of 52. This light right here of 52 was the first guy in the door. Being Yud He Vav He, spelled this way, without any Yuds or Alephes. And although the heart spark is the Bina of the Atik, as it has been explained in many places, it has been taught to you that in regard to Chachma, called Adam Kadmon, it is its Malchus. So Malchus, so Adam Kadmon is the Malchus of the restriction. So Malchus is the Sod, the secret of the 52 names, spelled this way. The heart spark first received these 52 lights. And so the brain is divided exactly into 52 parts, right? The 52 light came in first. It's the very depth and bottom of the heart spark, and that is why your brain is divided into 52 parts for the 52 name. Rodman area 1 through 52. And these 52 parts of the brain are divided in between 3 main sections, which are 3 columns. Again, we have 3 columns, being the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Now the skull with its 22 bones, and the brain with its 52 parts. So we have the 22 letters of the alphabet, and the brain with its 52 parts corresponding to the 52 name of Hashem of Malchus, together equals 74. And this is the value, 74 is the value of Chachma Em Kolel. Thus the restriction, which is the Chachma of the Atik, the Ancient of Days, has divided its lights into the skull and the brain. Furthermore, it is known that the 12 patriarchs of Israel, like the 12 tribes of Israel, were born from Yaakov Avinu while in the midst of Lavan. Lavan means white. Lavan is Chachma, as was explained previously. And so we find that Chachma, the brain, has 12 cranial nerves, like the 12 Shvatim. And they are the secret of Yaakov sojourning with Lavan, the heart sojourning with the brain, and bringing his wives and children, the 12 cranial nerves, back to his land, his heart, in order to move the body. And you guys, I remember when I went out to Oregon, I was in Rose and YIRAH's house, and I remember Malachi is my witness. I think Malachi recorded this moment also. For the first time that YIRAH told this to me, I started screaming. I was like, no, I can't handle it. I cannot handle this. That there are 12 cranial nerves that exit from the brain and go to the heart to correspond to the sojourning of Yaakov and the 12 tribes. It's just like too much. And these are the 12 patriarchs. And I remember these from dental school because there was a mnemonic. Anybody who's gone to medical school or dental school knows that there's a raunchy mnemonic for the cranial nerves. It's O to touch. I'll just start it off that way. So I remember my cranial nerves. And here they are exiting the brain and representing the sojournings of Yaakov and the 12 tribes. Insane. These are the 12 patriarchs, and it was explained that Yaakov sojourned with Lavan, the brain, the whiteness of the brain, and had his 12 sons, the 12 cranial nerves. And what does he do? He brings them back to his land, the heart. And so the brain is housed in the blood of the heart, and collectively they move the body like sojourning and provide for its functions. Lavan, whiteness, and Chachma, which is the brain, both contain the word lave, heart. So it shows you the coherence, the brain-heart coherence, the mind-heart coherence that produces the most effective manifestation. We've learned that from Joe Dispenza. And here you have a picture of it all. The brain-heart connection. Wow. Incredible. The 11 spheros each contained 11 spheros, and collectively they were in the secret of the straight light that entered the restriction and the secret of the 22 letters, as has been explained to you. Each sphera has 11 spherot inside of it. That's how they interrelate to each other. And so the Supreme Emanator formed the man with 11 major organs. And they are the nervous system, the skeletal system, muscular system, lymphatic system, respiratory system, digestive system, circulatory system, endocrine system, urinary system, reproductive system, integumentary system. He layered them like an onion, one upon the other, in the secret of concentric circles like the Tzimtzum, and formed the man. And here they are. You see, your nervous system is at the top because that's what controls you. How well are you regulated? And that affects every other one of your systems. Nervous system is king. Now it was explained there are 22 chromosomes in the DNA, and it was explained how this was the secret of the 22 letters. It was revealed how everything is circular on the smallest and largest scales and linear in between. Thus, we find that the human body is the image of the Sefirot. We are a tree. And the body is a linear construct while being a composite of circular aspects. Our atoms are circular aspects. And our body is existing in a larger circular aspect, the planetary orbit. Now we're going to go into the human body ingredients, you guys. How you guys doing? Let me check on you. It is amazing, Irma. Hey, David Lasof. Hi, Attila. Hey, Irma. Hi, Hiroko. Hi, Alan. Okay, let's continue. All right, let's get into the ingredients of our body. Regarding this, the 4 primary substances are the secret of the mother letters. We have nitrogen for shin, oxygen aleph, hydrogen mem, carbon mem sofit. These in turn divide themselves into 22 different elements that compose the human body, which are the secret of the 22 letters. And these 22 elements are oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, chlorine, sodium, magnesium, iron, fluorine, zinc, copper, iodine, manganese, molybdenum, selenium, chromium, cobalt, silver. The primary 11 in the secret of the Sefirot are as follows, and they appear in the greatest quantities. We are 65% oxygen, 18.5% carbon, 9.5 hydrogen, 3.2 nitrogen, 1.5 calcium, 1% phosphorus, 0.4% potassium, 0.2% sodium, 0.2% chlorine, 0.06% magnesium, 0.04% sulfur. That's like amazing. It's like the front of the tree. Okay, the 7 kings. You guys remember the 7 kings that fell? The 7 kings of Edom in the linear aspect, which corresponds to your neck. The 7 kings emerged from the heart spark, okay, from in here. And it was explained that this was the secret of the 7 bones in your neck. Now, these bones in the neck, what do? They connect the brain to the spine, and the spine to the rest of the body. That's how important the neck is. Know and understand that according to this, that it was explained that the heart spark is the Bina of the Atik, and Bina is the 8th of the Sephiros. Therefore, there are 8 levels that connect the brain to the spine. And here they are. From the thalamus all the way down. Incredible. Each of these are in the secret of the Sephiros, and so we find. This is crazy. This is crazy. Chachma is your thalamus. Bina is your midbrain. Chesed is your pons. Gevura is your medulla. Tiferes is your primary afferent neuron. Netzach is your dorsolateral fasciculus. Hod is your marginal nucleus and nucleus proprius. Yesod is your projection neuron. And all of these connect the brain to the spine through the neck. According to the aforementioned, we find that Tiferes contains within its aspect the sacral fibers, lumbar fibers, thoracic fibers, and cervical fibers. As Tiferes, which is the heart, connects all things. So all those fibers are found there. We find here that this level within Tiferes connects directly to Yesod, the reproductive organ. And that's the important one. That's the tikkun of the sexual energy. When the heart is connected to the reproductive organ, and that's what will rectify the sexual energy on the planet. Furthermore, the brain connects itself to the spine, by which it contains 32 bones, the spine, and the secret of 32 paths of wisdom, which is to say 32 bones, because wisdom and bones are white, the side of right. And as shown, they are connected to Yesod. In Yesod of the face, corresponding to the mouth. They emerge in the circular aspect as the 32 teeth. And the final teeth being called wisdom teeth. These are the secret of the 10 spheros and the 22 paths of wisdom. And here's all your teeth. Here they are. That's exactly how they're numbered. Their top teeth are 1 through 16. Your bottom teeth are 17 to 32. Now, according to the linear aspect, is the spine. If the teeth are the circular aspect of the 32, your spine is the linear aspect of the 32 paths of wisdom. And the 33rd is your tailbone, also called the luz bone. Page 33. The brain thus connects to the organs of the body via the spine, right? So your brain sends down all kinds of nerve fibers through the spine, and that's what animates your whole body. And there are 31 connections via the peripheral nervous system, of which there are 31 nerves that connect the spine to the rest of the body, as shown in the diagram above. That the first letter to be rectified is the letter Shin, and this refers to the sphere of Chesed, which is called Chesed El, a loving God. It has the numerical value of 31, and this hints to the 31 nerves coming about through the spine to the rest of the body. Wow. Wow. Now, the luz bone is located in the yesod of the body and connects the reproductive organ, which is yesod, to this place. Regarding this matter, the luz bone has 6 holes by which the reproductive organ, oh my God, is connected to the secret of the letter Vav, which hints to yesod. And here are those 6 holes. Okay, guys, let's end it here for today. Woo, what a reading. Only Hashem could do that. That's incontrovertible, immutable. Torah of Atzilus that we just read together. Hashem in the body. Hashem showing us He made the body and how we are a reflection of the tree of life itself. Man is a tree. Incredible. I'll be back the week of June 9th. If I'm able to go live from Israel, I will. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be busy with Shavuos, the holiday, and running around. But if I see that I can, I will. And just do a little bit reading from Israel. That would be amazing. If not, I will send pictures of everywhere I plant Torah Of Mashiach, taking a bunch of these guys with me. The place I'm most excited to, I thought it was the cave of Rebbe Shem the kever of Rebbe Shem Baruch Chai. I thought that was the place where I was most excited, but I realized I want to take it down underground, under the kotel, to the place marked Kodesh Kadeshim, which is directly opposite the Even HaShasiyah, the foundation stone. And I'm going to put one of these bad boys there. And it's going to be so fun. That's what I call fun. I love you guys so much. And I'll keep you posted through Telegram, through my channel on Telegram, and through the chats of YIRAH and Alepht's groups. Have a wonderful day. Have a beautiful Chag. And may we merit to see a world of rectified da'as, a world where we are the walking embodiment of the highest manifestation of Hashem. And we work in constant co-creation with Hashem every day to bring beauty. Mwah.